That's right.
I heard something.
Residency in Vegas, which,
Oh
you know
yeah.
what? To be honest, I got to tell you, man, when I saw him live at Rockfest, he fucking kicked ass for like, and he was, he's up there.
Cool.
He's like an older dude. He is a geriatric rocker. That's right.
I heard something. Ooh.
All right. We are rocking.
Okay.
Hey,
We
everybody.
are we are
We're getting rolling here, man.
we are late. We are busy. We are groggy. But
We are groggy. We
We
are
are.
late. Dude,
But
we got fun
we're
stuff to talk about.
yeah. We're still metal. We're still here.
Dude,
The word.
we are so metal. Dude, are you ready to get rolling here, man?
Let's do it.
Just adding notes.
I'm just gonna bob my head like this. Like we're listening to something really cool.
That's right.
But not super heavy because we're not like this. And here's the vertigo.
Dude, did I tell you that well, you know what? I'll tell you during the episode.
Tell it to me then.
Dude, I just looked over at the live stream. You're freaking you're like I don't know. You're like a cockatoo or something.
Yeah. Cocker 3.
Cocker 3.
Cocker 4. Cocker Spaniel.
All right, ready?
Let's do it.
3, 2. Welcome to episode 55 of the Thrash Report. This is live July 1st. Whoa, dude. July 1st, 2021. This is your weekly music commentary podcast where we discuss all things metal and heavy music. My name is Chris, and joining me, my co-host, my partner in crime, again, my heavy metal concert buddy, Jim Osborne. Jim, how you doing, man?
Confused. It's been 26 years, and I still don't know where he came from, where he went, that Cotton-Eyed Joe. They have not released the info. He's on the back of milk cartons now. Otherwise, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Not digging wells, doing wells.
Doing wells.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Doing okay, man. I'm a little groggy. I had a really I had a busy day today, and it only took a matter of seconds by the time I just laid down for like a second and I fell asleep. So literally you calling me was like, "Hey bro, what's going on?"
I woke you up, but it took you more about 15 minutes after that to really wake you up.
Oh, dude, I was like, what day is it? Holy shit. I mean, literally, man, it was seconds. What does that say? I mean, does that say that I'm severely like sleep deprived? I don't know.
We'll get to that in the news in a minute.
Ooh.
Let's see.
Hey, before we get rolling, I just want to take a minute to thank our sponsor.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and give a shout out to CBD Twin Cities. Again, we want to thank them for their support. They do offer safe, top tier CBD products, and it really is of the highest quality. All of their products are third-party lab tested. They're manufactured in an ISO 7 clean room. All of their products are organically grown and sourced from Southern Colorado. They encourage you to try their new relaxing, soothing, tasty new Delta line of edibles, Delta 8 line of edibles. You know, they have chocolates, they have gummies, and they're all available now at discovercbdtwincities.com. Head over there and use the code THRASH for 20% off your order and free shipping. We want to thank them for their support. And we have a really great episode today, Jim. We have some interesting news. I want to say that it's almost like, do you feel as though there really is kind of like a almost like a resurgence of thrash right now? Like it just seems like there's so much music. Like these last few months has just been like, dude, there's so much stuff to listen to. It's a fun time for metal for sure.
You talking like brand new stuff or just you're hearing more of it?
I'm a little bit of both, man. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, even like some of the older stuff that like I may have missed, or it just, yeah, coming out of the woodwork. But even that, there's like new bands, new artists. I mean, I have one that I'm going to mention today that brand new album dropped this year in 2021, and
Mhm.
it's thrash-tastic. So
Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
I've been doing a lot of listening as well. I showed off my new speaker I got a few weeks ago, and we've done some work on our house. We have a new patio outside,
Nice.
so I've been sitting out there just listening to uh, some music, and
Mhm.
on iTunes or Apple Music. I still
Yeah,
call it iTunes all the time, but
that's right.
um, they um, if you listen to an album when it's over, it just jumps to another song and just kind of plays random stuff.
Yep.
And I don't know, I just wasn't really paying attention. I was playing a game on the computer and listening to stuff, and then all of a sudden a different song started playing. It wasn't the band I had chosen. Like, oh, what's this? And it sounded really cool. So I've got a whole bunch of bands now that I need to check out because just they kept on coming and coming and good stuff. So I've been adding it to my list and checking it out. So I would agree. There seems like there's more stuff out, but I think that's just more of me opening my ears to more and kind of pursuing more stuff. But definitely seeing there is a ton of shit out there.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
shit, but stuff.
Right. Yep.
Good shit.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have some release to talk about, and then um, I'm going to jump back to 1989 to talk about our back in the day. So 32 years ago, there was an amazing thrash band out of Seattle. So we're going to jump into them and
Seattle, you say?
Seattle, yes, and so yeah, maybe you guys can be thinking about who might that be. Well, we'll let you
Yeah.
know here in just a little bit. All right. What do you want to get started with, man? What do we got cooking?
Some news. Let's see. What do we got here? First up, I saw a list on metalsucks.net, and like us, this writer has been watching the Anthrax 40 episodes.
Yeah.
Episode 20 just came out yesterday, I think. I watched it
Yep.
yesterday. The up to volume 8 now. And this writer at Metal Sucks decided to list his favorite John Bush era Anthrax songs. So I read it, and I've been listening to more John Bush lately just because I've been kind of following along, listening to the albums as they come out on their
Mm-hmm.
Anthrax 40. So, and I've said it a million times here. I love John Bush. I love all Anthrax. And so I checked out his list, and here's his list. He was going to do the top 15, but he had two that he said it was like a Sophie's choice. So he's got 16. So I'll just go through the titles quick. Starting at 16, he's got 604 from volume 8. That has always been kind of a fun song. It's really super short.
Yep.
It's the story behind it. I remember reading when it came out in a magazine before the internet days, I believe. I read that it was actually about, they saw a headline in one of the tabloids, like the National Enquirer or something, about 604-pound woman can't stop eating.
Yeah.
So they just made a song about it. Can't stop eating, can't stop eating, can't stop eating. She's so fat. So, super short song, super funny. And then he goes to Perpetual Motion from Stomp 442. And then Nothing from Stomp 442. Take the Music Back from We've Come For You All. Crush Volume 8, which I think is a great song too, great album opener. And then probably one of my, if it's not my favorite, it's in my top 2 or 3 Bush songs. 1,000 Points of Hate from Sound of White Noise. That was like my theme in high school. I was
Oh yeah.
angry, like my depression back then settled as anger. So I was
Mm-hmm.
always pissed off. And every time I heard this song, it was like, he's reading my mind.
It was like my theme song. I would walk into a room and that's the song that I'd be walking in slow motion, right? And that song would be playing. That's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So still love the song. Not nearly as angry. Me. And then we go to Superhero, We've Come For You All. Inside Out from Volume 8. Safe Home, which is a great song. Scotty N that one time said it's his favorite song to play live. It's from We've Come For You All. Then Cadillac Rock Box, which of course features Dimebag at the beginning, leaving Charlie a message about the new song that he was listening to in his car, which or is a Chevy Avalanche that he was cruising around. No, Cadillac, not Chevy.
Escalade.
Yeah, it's not Avalanche Rock Box.
It's all good.
And Potter's Field from Sound of White Noise.
Oh,
which,
so good.
Like that's the song that got me into Anthrax, because I'd always heard about them, and then I got that album. That was my first album, so I popped that in, and then just like the sound of that person walking through the woods, stepping on the sticks, and then like the screams coming at you from all sides, and then the
Yep. Yeah.
So that hooked me right away. So I would put that one higher on my list. Refuse to Be Denied by We've Come For You All. Room for One
Dude,
More.
That song, like literally, like, I mean, that song was so emotional for me, especially like, after the Twin Tower collapse, right? And that whole moment in history. I'm telling you, listening to that song, I remember back then, and I actually wrote an email. So this was before they had social, right? And I wrote an email to Charlie, like via their website or something, and just telling them that driving in my car and listening to that song, like literally tears came to my eyes. Like it was just like, anyway, yeah, some moving for sure.
Yeah. And then Room for One More, another one from Sound of White Noise. Brilliant track. And then the Sophie's Choice one for this writer was Contact, What Doesn't Die from We've Come For You All. And What Doesn't Die. I mean, that first time I heard that one, I'm like, oh, this is
right
different.
Right.
It's got blast beats in it.
It's heavy. Yeah, totally.
But yeah, great song. And then Invisible, Sound of White Noise. And of course, only one left is Only Sound of White Noise.
Dude, I remember I was at a company retreat for work, and we where I worked before, they would like rent out this whole resort, for all of us employees, right? And so we were at this, and it was like one of these where there was like training, and it was like hardcore all day long, but then all night it was super fun. Like they had all these fun things happening, and sure enough, at one of the bars, there was karaoke going on, and do I say it wrong? I don't know, karaoke, whatever. And and so I remember going down there, and I'm like, all right, there's nothing, I'm never gonna, nothing ever cool, And so sure enough, I'm looking at the book just casually, and I'm like, what are the odds of them having an Anthrax tune? And so sure enough, because that's the way I always go every single time. And I'm like, no way they have freaking Only. And I'm like, dude, I am never going to be in this spot at this time. And I'm like, sure enough, cue it up. And so I freaking laid down the craziest freaking Only karaoke rendition you'd ever see in your entire life. And it was almost like a blur. And then afterwards, I'm done. I'm just like sweating, and I'm just like, oh, dude, I felt just like awesome, right? And I look around, and I'm like, no one got that on video? Are you kidding me? Like, we're a bunch of technology nerds with phones in our pockets. Anyway, so yeah, in my mind, it was really cool. It probably looked really lame, but I'm just saying.
That's all that matters, man. You did it. Yeah, so we've got another list here. This one is from loudwire.com. I would encourage you to go read this article. I'm just going to give you the 12, but it's the 12 wild things science has discovered about metalheads. You're talking about sleeping and being groggy and what before, so there's some of that mentioned here.
Nice.
So so 12 things science has learned about metalheads through music studies. Fans' mental health benefits from listening to metal. We've discussed that at length.
Yep.
Heavy metal listeners could have lower blood pressure.
It's
maybe because we cut Slayer into our arms and the blood just seeps out, so there's no more pressure.
Oh, funny.
I'm a doctor. We got heart surgeon in the room. He could maybe tell us about that.
There you go.
Metal fans are more likely to have a sexual encounter in a car. There might even
Ooh.
be two people in the car.
Oh, like with somebody. Oh, okay.
Yep. Do they both have to be metalheads? Hmm. Rock and metal listeners are among the happiest of music fans.
I believe that.
Yeah. Listening to black and death metal is good for focus and productivity. Not to my teachers in high school. Turn that off. Death metal makes fans happy. You actually can judge metalheads by their music taste. That'd be an interesting one to read. So again, this is from Loudwire. So go to Loudwire and look for the 12 things science has discovered about metalheads to read all the stuff that goes with this. You can get a PhD studying heavy metal. I have heard this over in Australia. So
Heck yeah.
if you could do it online.
Dude, that's
Metal,
awesome.
metal fans' music choices can affect their driving safety.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Metalheads can often be the most loyal.
That is true. Yes,
Nice.
I have heard of that. We're some of the most loyal fans for sure.
Mm-hmm. And listening to metal can decrease anger. Listening to just over an hour of music each day has health benefits. So there you go.
Dude, I like it. I can't wait. I geek out over these, the social sciences and kind of the neuroscience of why we are metalheads.
Yeah.
I geek out about that stuff. So that's pretty awesome, dude. Very cool.
Yeah. So next we got this week on our friends at Liquid Metal have been advertising that they're looking for listener domination for the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
Yeah. So it used to be a thing every week they would have a fan call in or send in their like a voice memo of their 5 favorite songs or just 5 songs they wanted to play. And I think it just got to a point where it's hard to connect like the fan or the listener to the host at Liquid Metal to get things going. And so they stopped doing it and they've talked about bringing it back, but this weekend for 4th of July, they are. So it ended yesterday, Wednesday night. But a bunch of people have sent things in. I sent a couple in, one as myself, one as Tom Anderson from Beavis and Butthead. So
That's
looking forward to
awesome.
hearing that one. I texted it to Sean to see what he thought. And he thought it was pretty good. So we'll keep your ears out for that. And speaking of Sean, some big news out of his camp. He has been promoted at Liquid Metal or at SiriusXM.
Saw that.
Yep. So he is now a programmer. He's programmed now at Turbo Channel 41, then Faction Punk, and there's a third one. So he's doing 3 stations, but he's still doing his weekly show Monday through Friday on Liquid Metal, and still the voice of Ozzy's Boneyard. So
Nice.
It's a busy dude. So
That's
congratulations, awesome. Sean.
Cool. Horns up, bud. Way to kill it.
Yeah. And then our old pal D Snyder was on Family Feud a couple weeks ago.
Dude, he was winning. Him and his family won a bunch of money for the vets. And if those of you haven't checked it out, it's pretty fun watching the Snyder family just basically they kind of just did an amazing sweep in Family Feud. And but it was fun. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it's cool to see his family. And they were playing Terry Bradshaw from Hall of Fame quarterback Terry Bradshaw, if people don't know who he is.
Yep.
But him and his family are on, and he's always he's a goofy ass man.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see him too, and there's some very funny moments on. So definitely check out. Where'd you say you saw it? Hulu?
Yep. It was on Hulu like the next day on Celebrity Family Feud, and it was crazy too, because like again I dig the show too, and when they got to the end, right, they won, got to the bonus round, and it's like, dude, so D and Suzette, they were the team at the end, and it's like they're going through like the top 10, right? And it's like they were saying the answers, and I'm just like, this is like a slam dunk. Like they just, and it's like when one didn't get the number one answer, the other, like if D didn't get it, Suzette got it, or vice versa. Like, I'm like, dude, they got this in the bag. It was pretty fun.
Yep. Always cool to see our metalheads hitting the mainstream.
And it was cool too because they got some promo, right? Steve Harvey mentioned Leave a Scar out the end of July. Pretty cool, dude.
Yeah. So what's this about a cool way to keep your food cold?
Yeah, dude. This is crazy. You know, every now and then we have these crazy branding crossovers. And believe it or not, our friends at Iron Maiden now have an Igloo branded cooler. Absolutely cool. They actually, if you go to their website at Igloo, you'll see this cooler. This is a versatile 21 can cooler to keep your drinks and food cold. And it's that trademark like tent design that kind of slides back and forth. But it's awesome because the artwork on it has, you know, it's designed with the Playmate cooler design with the Iron Maiden graphics.
Wait, Playmate?
Not the Playmate, not like a centerfold. But you know, this cooler, I went right when I saw the article. I'm looking at it, I'm like, $50, man. I don't know. Well, of course, it took like less than a day to sell out. And so, yeah, this special edition cooler, get it with this amazing artwork. And again, we'll have links in the show note. Pretty cool, man. I mean, at first when I saw it, I thought it was like a smaller, like lunchbox, but it's not, it's bigger. So I'm like, it makes more sense. If I would have read the freaking description, I would have grabbed one because it's pretty awesome. So it's called Chill with the Beast. Go find your Iron Maiden branded Igloo cooler wherever you can find it, but it's sold out. But you know what I mean.
Those guys will put their name on anything.
Pretty close. Shameless plug.
Yeah, what's over your shoulder there on the wall?
Everywhere.
Yep.
Everywhere.
Mine's on the wall over here. Legacy of the Beast tapestry we went to.
Nice.
Yeah. I think that does it for the news.
Yeah,
or
dude.
The news that we have.
Yeah, we got some cool releases to check out. One of the first ones that I want to talk about is a band called Black Jackal. And I believe I got this band out of one of the new Facebook groups that you and I on Facebook. We have like Thrash Mania, we have New Wave of Thrash. I think there's another one too, isn't there? I think there's like 300. Anyway,
there's a bunch of them, yeah.
Yeah, and anyway, so this is one that they dropped relatively recently. They're based out of San Antonio, Texas, and it's their first album that dropped just recently in 2021. Their debut album called Forever War, and what they said, this is their visceral journey to a plane of existence of perpetual warfare. What, dude? Combatants throughout time and space now convene for the ultimate contest, reborn from dead flesh to the endless reality of battle. Old gods renew with every fatality. For every life lost in our dimension feeds another thrall to the forever war. Anyway,
I want to see these guys fight Gwar.
Right? And so anyway, go check out Black Jackal. It's kind of like thrash, kind of like a blackened thrash, but again, brand new album. Their debut release dropped. Freaking awesome. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and then we mentioned it before a few weeks ago that they had just released their third single off the new album, but Coffinized by The Absence out of Tampa Bay, Florida, I believe. That came out last Friday, and it's awesome. It's, like I said, the first three songs that came out were good. The whole thing, front to back, awesome. Jeremy Kling on the drums, I just love his sound. And, so yeah, The Absence, Coffinized, now out. And then another kind of follow-up, we talked about these guys a few weeks ago too. Squid Hammer Metal from Wisconsin.
Yep.
I think we talked about their song Firing Order 184-36572 is out. And I just listened to it again today, and it's groovy. They're huge Pantera fans. You can hear it in their music, and this one's got a lot of groove to it. So check out Firing Order 184-36572 from Squid Hammer Metal.
What a bunch of nerds. I love it.
I think it's like when you try to like Cool Metal Guy 382, because Cool Metal Guy 381 and Down to One were all taken. So maybe there's that many songs called Firing Order.
That's awesome.
That's just the next one. But they also they've said they'll come on the show as guests pretty soon here, and because they are going to promote are promoting. Check out their social medias, Squid Hammer Metal. They're promoting Dime Stock, the 10th annual Pantera tribute in Wisconsin. And like I mentioned before, I won't be able to make it this year. I've tried for like the last 3-4 years to go, but there's just life gets in the way. So I want to go there sometime. And now this year, I just saw that Carbon 4 Brewing out of Madison is sponsoring it. And I love that beer. So it's even hurts even more. I can't go. Yeah, they're a goofy brewery. They got all sorts of different kinds and just kind of funny names. They have like Diet Starts Tomorrow Stout and Fantasy Factory Pale Ale, which has like I think it's a cat riding a unicorn holding a machine gun over a rainbow or something. Just
why would you not?
Right? Yeah. So Carbon 4 Brewing, check them out. Dime Stock tribute to Pantera coming up. So check out Squid Hammer's socials, and I'm sure we'll hear more from them soon.
Cool, man. And we got a little taste of some Rob Flynn today.
Yeah, did you hear the song?
I did, yes.
I tried to find it tonight before we started this because I wanted to check it out, and like I said, it was a busy day. But yeah, Once Human is got a new release featuring Rob Flynn. So what was it like?
Well, it kind of sounded like Machine Head. No. No, it was good. I mean, again, I just heard a clip, just like a teaser that was on Rob's social that he posted. So, but it was good, man. I mean, again, it's heavy. Yeah, nothing that, I'm into it. It's all good.
Cool. Yeah, I will look harder for it.
Cool. Looks like we got some others in the live chat saying, yeah, that the new One Human track is pretty killer. Another reminder too, Bill in the chat mentioned that Wraith has a brand new track that dropped, and I did see that. I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but yeah, thanks for the reminder for sure. I'm going to put that on my playlist.
Yeah, and then we mentioned it a little bit last week with our Krog guests from the Krog Pound.
That's right.
The Metallica 30 that's coming out in September, I think. But they've released a few songs on there. Last week they released Enter Sandman, covered by Juanes. Wands? I'm not sure how to pronounce
I don't know, yeah.
And the Nothing Else Matters with Elton John, Miley Cyrus, Yo-Yo Mama jokes.
That's right. Did you hear the demo? The demo version of
Sandman or Sad But True?
Sad But True. Like I didn't listen to it yet. I don't know I haven't heard the difference.
Yeah, I haven't checked that one out. I've seen it, or I saw it mentioned, but I have not listened to it yet. And then this week they released 3 versions of Sad But True. One of them is live. I'm not sure who's all doing them. All I know, I saw St. Vincent. I'm not sure who that is did them, but I got to listen to those 3, and I'm excited about this. I'm obviously a huge Metallica fan and love the Black Album, and I've seen a lot of people bitching about how there's no real heavy metal people doing all these covers and stuff. Like, what band has not? I don't remember if I said this last week or not, but what band that we all love, what metal band has not covered Metallica yet?
Right.
I mean, they've all done it. Those covers. You want to hear heavy people covering Metallica? It's out there already. So I always like hearing new people or new takes on songs I like. So, growing up, my kids had a CD of Metallica lullabies, that was fun to listen to. And we got Scorched Earth Orchestra released the whole Master of Puppets album. So it's like that whole album just done as an orchestra. So, I mean, it's awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing all this stuff.
Yeah, and I think, we talked about it before. I mean, the Metallica Black Album is one that kind of transcends genres and fans. I mean, there can be, a lot of other genres of music and a lot of other artists that, they went through that. Some people, it really was a phase, right? I mean, they went through, it was a very powerful and important album for them at that time, even though they may be, into another genre of music. And so I understand why they have all these other artists doing it and paying tribute to frickin', I mean, one of the most, I want to say one of the most influential albums across metal. I mean, so how many people, that was kind of their first taste of Metallica? So many, I know, so many, right? Yeah. So it kind of makes sense,
It's made more than sense. It's one of the best-selling albums of all time.
That's right.
Sorry, money joke.
Well, it is one of those, where they continue to sell so many, like every freaking month. Like what?
I think it's that. Is it still over 5,000 copies a week?
Something goofy. Like, what?
That's crazy.
So I think the next one I just want to quick mention too, and it came from one of the groups. I didn't have time to really dig into a lot of it, but it is this metal band called Honey, believe it or not. So the name of the band is called Honey. Name of the album is called Forever Fire, and they're from Philly. I don't know too much about them, but again, one of the groups mentioned them. I went and checked it out, and I was like, "Holy crap, where have these guys been?" Like we mentioned, there's just so many. So I'm actually excited to have this long weekend because I'm gonna chill and listen to music, man. Like, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, so that takes care of our new releases that we found for the week.
Dude, we got some dude, I love it that we can talk about live music again. Dude.
Yes, not live streams, which were awesome this last year for something, but actual live music. Just every day new shit's being announced. It's I'm broke.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so big one this last week was the Bay Strikes Back tour, and I know we talked with Chuck Billy on the Headbangers Con about that coming back. And so, yep, Testament, Exodus, Death Angel coming to the U.S. We got our tickets November 7th, Skyway Theater in Twin Cities.
Yep. And so, hey, if anybody in the Twin Cities, St. Paul, Minneapolis, let us know, man. Hit us up. Send us an email. Get up to us on social. Maybe we can do a meetup ahead of time. Hang out, grab some food, grab a drink. Dude, that'd be awesome.
I've seen a lot of people posting that we're friends with and that are planning on going there. So it'll be a good time.
It'll be great. I think so. Testament's own Eric Peterson, he comments, finally, we are able to announce the suspended tour due to the pandemic. We are totally excited to get out on the road again and continue where we left off, supporting the newest release, Titans of Creation, along with our brothers of Thrash, Exodus, and Death Angel. So go up and get your tickets. Horns up.
Yes.
So it'll be exciting, man. I'm jacked. I was going to ask you, man. So with the dude, oh my God, why can't I think of his name right now? With
John.
Exodus, the dude going through chemo.
Tom Hunting. Yep.
What do we know? I mean, is he, are they planning to have him? Like, not to be morbid, I'm just saying, like, are things looking good? Is he doing well? Like, planning on touring,
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be on the tour or not. I thought of that too, and I never looked into it. And I don't know. I assume not, since he's still going through the treatment. And I know they just did a big fundraiser and they're selling a bunch of gear and signed gear and stuff.
Yep.
Oh, it'd be awesome if he's healthy enough to do it. But
Yeah, totally. I think, and again, I wish him all the best. And I hope that, he's getting the right treatment and he'll be strong enough and do that. I just, I look back my personal experience, right? My dad suffered, suffered cancer. He had pancreatic cancer, and seeing him go through the chemo and the treatment, like there was just no way he would be able to have, there's no way he could do that, and he literally was a half the man he used to be going through the treatment. But I don't know the details of this. So we wish him all the best, and hopefully things work out.
Yeah. Get well, Tom.
Rock on.
Yeah. And then this next one I saw, The Who, not like the 60s rock band, but the Who, we talked about them a few months ago. They covered Sad But True.
Yep. Which was a killer cover, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And like what Jose was saying, how one of the next things in metal is he wants to see all these bands from around the world represent their culture and bring it into metal. And that cover they did of Sad But True was right up that alley. That was awesome.
Exactly.
Yep. So they have a headlining tour, but they're also doing a support run with Hailstorm. And so with Hailstorm, that's in the beginning of September, going through New York, Oklahoma, Missouri, North Carolina. And then their headline and festival looks like it's throughout September and October. And they will be in our area, Minneapolis and Milwaukee, on the 14th and 15th of October. So
nice. Where are they playing? Where are they playing here?
Varsity Theater.
Okay.
I've never been there.
I have. I think that is where I saw that's where I saw Death Angel.
Do the warm-up bands play at the Junior Varsity Theater?
Dude, you're full of them.
I'm full of it. Something. Yeah, and then this one, unfortunately, is just kind of a Pacific Northwest tour, but it's Lich King and Ex Mortis. So awesome to see our friends in Ex Mortis are doing some shows. I know they got some local LA shows too coming up, but the Lich King, I got to listen to more of them. It's been a while, sadly, that I've haven't listened to them, but they're awesome new thrash.
Well,
new generation of thrash.
Oh, totally. And I think that, again, that was the one thing too, where I was like super excited when I saw it. Cause I think I mentioned this. I don't know if I mentioned it on the show, but like the new Flotsam and Jetsam, it's one of my so far like favorite albums of the year. Like the new Flotsam and Jetsam is so good in my opinion. And, they announced a tour and I was like super excited. And I'm like, oh, well, it's just like on the West Coast. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. Speaking of albums of the year, I just saw our friend Bill. He must have taken care of all the hearts, being the heart surgeon. I think all the hearts are healthy in his area because he's got, what'd you say, Bill, 32 or 31 or 32 albums of the year so far?
Dude, Dude, Bill, you got to let us know how many metal t-shirts do you really have? Oh man, it's got to be in the hundreds, I would think.
Slightly above all of them.
That's so
nice work, Bill.
Excellent work. Dude, you are one that waves the flag of metal. I love it.
Yep.
Another one is Meshuggah. Which that one, we really hadn't had any recent news or anything, but dude, all of a sudden it popped up in the concert calendar that Meshuggah is coming. They're going to be here locally, and they have support acts with Torch and Converge, and in November. So, no, or was that the 2022 date? I can't remember now.
The Meshuggah shows are 2022, I believe.
Okay, got it. That was March. I'm sorry. That was March of next year.
But their timing is all over the place. So that's an easy mistake to make.
Yeah. So, Meshuggah, I saw him at a festival. It's cool. It's fun. And I think you and I kind of talked about him. Like, I like Meshuggah. I think they're heavy, but it's kind of like, in my opinion, it's just hard because maybe my brain's just too simple to really get all the complexity that they're doing. Because for me, there's not a good hook or like a repeating pattern that my brain can understand, but it's awesome. So those of you that are into Meshuggah, make sure you check them out next March.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat there. I mean, I don't have anything against them, but I remember in the mid '90s when they were first coming out, and I had somehow got one of their EPs. I don't even know if it's around anymore, but there's some tracks on there that I liked. But as I progressed, I didn't quite follow along with it. And one of my friends in a band said, they're like a band's band. Like you have to understand music to really get Meshuggah.
Sure.
So I don't know. I certainly respect their place in metal because I know they're huge and influential and amazing musicians and stuff, but it's just
totally. Yep.
not my teacup.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's the cool thing about this genre, right? I mean, you can just have so many out there, and we respect them as musicians. We just may not totally align. Dude, it was crazy in one of the groups we talked about. Last week I think we talked about not last week. Sorry, we had Krog on last week, but like 2 weeks ago, we talked about our back in the day of nuclear. I'm sorry, am I saying that right? Nuclear assault.
There you go.
Nuclear assault. Something wicked. And it was great because somebody just recently was asking about what other thrash they should be listening to. And right now he's totally hooked on that album from Nuclear Assault. And I was like, yay. It just made me happy. Smiled.
Nice.
We're metal buddies. Yay.
As far as local bands go, we obviously had Krog on last week. So they've got their show on the 10th again, July 10th. And then the following week at Slam Dakota. So if you're in the area, go check it out. But I'm super pumped. Last week I bought tickets for my first lacrosse area local show at the Warehouse. And on July 13th, July 13th, I will be seeing local band Soulless Skin. They're a two-piece and kind of like a Black Death kind of a thing. I got the corpse paint and
cool, man.
They go the whole 9 yards. Like the very first show I went to at the Warehouse, I walked in and then I saw these two guys wearing corpse paint, and these kids are young. I think one's still in high school and one's maybe just out. I don't know their exact ages, but young still. And I go to this show, I see all these young kids, and then there's these two kids in black, or the black metal, the corpse paint. It's like, damn, these kids are serious. Like I thought they were just there as fans, like checking out the other bands, and then they get up on stage and just started blasting, like literally just blasting for 15, 20 minutes they played. And really looking forward to that. Going to the Warehouse again. It's they released, I think they're doing 4 shows that week, and it's they're bringing in food, they're having interviews with the bands, and then the bands are playing. And so they're having limited capacity just to kind of bring in some money, but still be safe and everything. But that's
awesome. And that was
a week and a half away. I'm going to be seeing live music again.
Yeah, right. That was and that you said the name was Soulless Skin.
Soulless Skin. Yep, it's SOULLESSKIN.
Did they have content like up on Bandcamp or something, or can I grab their stuff somewhere?
There might be on Bandcamp. I know. Check out YouTube. They've got some live stuff.
Okay.
On there, and a couple of songs, a few songs in there. Yeah.
Cool.
So, and I believe they've recorded some new stuff, or at least worked on some new stuff. And yeah, so shout out to Aiden Dearman and Hunter Krajewski, Soulless Skin. Check them out.
Dude, awesome. So I think you're going to try and stump us with some heavy metal trivia. What do you got?
This one you probably know if you've been watching the Anthrax 40.
Ooh, I don't know. My memory's not too great, but yes, I have been.
Just came out yesterday. So.
Yeah, but I already slept one cycle, remember? When I sleep, I'm like a goldfish.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'd forgotten this until I saw it last night too. And there's a hidden track on Anthrax Volume 8, Threat is Real. And it's who sings it and what's it about?
It's Frankie Bello. Mm-hmm. And it is a song about all of what he was going through when his brother was taken away from us. He was actually a victim of a homicide. Mm-hmm. And I know that's what that song is about. Frankie, if anyone you ever noticed, like the one arm Frankie has a tattoo is a portrait of Frankie's brother. And again, it was really tight with them. I mean, both. I mean, even, he's Charlie's nephew too, right? So it was close to the family. So losing Frankie's brother was a big deal, obviously.
Yeah. So check out the latest episode. I think it was episode 20 of Anthrax 40. And it's a really cool part just hearing Frankie talk about that song and hearing Scott saying, it's awesome. It's a great outlet that Frankie got to do and put it on. So happy that they were all so happy that they could put it on an album.
Yep.
And just get it out there. So, I mean, it's a cool song. It's sad. Sucks that it happened, but Frankie got to put it out there. So check it out.
Absolutely. And no, that was a good one. I think some of the hidden tracks, I'm trying to think, I guess I wouldn't say hidden. That one was hidden, but I mean, I guess they have some bonus stuff when they re-release and everything. And it's always fun to hear that new stuff.
Yeah. Like the one on worship music. Remember that one?
Probably, but
it's like a 5 or 6 minute break after the last song, worship music, and then they start playing Refused.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And then
that's awesome.
Dude, what was the dude, I just lost my train of thought. Never mind. Dude, so we're gonna jump back in the day, and this is actually pretty cool. So the first thing we're gonna look at here is, when we go back in the day, we go back and find an album from back in the day and have a new look at it. And this is one where the Wiener, and most of you that are regular listeners know that we have a contact that we just refer to him as the Wiener. He actually turned me on to these guys really early on, back in the late 80s. And this is a band that they're turning 32 years old, their first album that dropped in 1989. And this is a band by the name of Forced Entry. The name of the album was called Uncertain Future. Now, the band was formed in Seattle, Washington in 1983. Originally, they had the name called Critical Condition. And then they later changed their name in 1986. They changed their name to Forced Entry. And this is the one where they only had 2 albums. I mean, they had some EP and then like some demos in there. And they only had like 2 albums before they broke up in 1995. They briefly reunited for some stuff in 2002, but nothing really ever came of it. Recently, they've been reported that they're planning to reunite for shows in 2021. And then coinciding with that reunion, they're going to have new material. So I'm excited about it. This was one of the first band that I ever, it makes sense now because now we have kind of this broader genre, and we can kind of go into that more prog area. This is one where when it first came out, I was like, oh, it's like super technical. Like I didn't even think, like, back in 1989, like we don't think we just hit thing. We really didn't call it like prog metal, or like it's not progressive stuff like some of the other bands that came afterwards. Mm-hmm. But listening to it, dude, totally tell that, you got Odd Time and like it's technical stuff and it's super fun. So those of you that are into that type of metal, check it out, man. If those of you that aren't familiar, Forced Entry, their release from 1989 called Uncertain Future. And that's the one that I have from back in the day.
Very cool. Yeah, I have not heard that. And before we get to comments or follow-ups, we've talked about all this new stuff that's coming out and just all the stuff that's available to us. So I thought we should add a segment to our show. So going from back in the day, let's jump right to today in the day.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so just mainly talking about not super new bands from like the current year or last 3-4 years, but kind of that whole new thrash resurgence from early 2000s, mid 2000s, and they're 2005-06 when it really started coming out again. And so one of the bands I came across this week was called Terror Empire. They're from Portugal, and they just rip. I mean, if you're if you're a big Creator fan, you'll like Terror Empire. And I've been listening to them a lot this week. They got their newest song came out just over a year ago, Hunt the Traitor. It's a single. But they've got 2 albums out, 2017, Obscurity Rising, and 2015, The Empire Strikes Back. That's the one I listened to first and kind of got me onto them. Like, and just brutal.
Cool, man.
Thrash up your ass.
Ooh, Terror Empire, dude. I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah.
They're from Portugal.
Portugal. I wonder if they're Portuguese.
I don't know.
I have to check my geography. They are. Yeah. So today in the day.
I like it.
So, they're also international as they are not from our country.
Nice.
So that was cool to hear bands from across the globe.
Yep. And we, there was one that I was going to mention too that showed up in one of the groups, and I know you and I kind of talked about it before the show. I think we may have touched on them from bands from China.
Yeah, we did that, the Big Four of China. I thought these guys were one of them.
Yeah. So the band Ancestor, so from Beijing, China, the band was formed in 2007. Their debut album dropped in just 2018 called Lords of Destiny. And yeah, I mean, that was one that I listened to this week, and yeah, pretty badass. So, and I think it's relevant because they now are just now releasing a bunch of new stuff through their label. So they're going to have vinyl and cassettes and stuff like that. So
nice.
Yeah, check it out. So that is Ancestor from Beijing, China, called Lords of Destiny.
Yeah. All right. It's not really a follow-up or anything. It's not follow-up to our show anyway, but our friend and good listener, Aaron, aka Larry, aka Duke Tomato, he posted something he tweeted about was it comparing Kill 'Em All and Show No Mercy, or
yes,
I think he was asking about Show No Mercy, what people thought of it, and he had tagged us in it, and I never responded. I meant to, but just kind of forgot, and then I kept thinking about it, so I told him that I would mention it here instead. And Show No Mercy, to me, like I've mentioned way back in episode 1 or 2, I think, how I was kind of late to Slayer, how
yep,
I was getting into metal in the mid 90s.
I was too, yeah.
I got Divine Intervention, and I wasn't ready for it. I was listening to Ozzy and White Zombie and Metallica and stuff, but I don't know. I heard that Slayer and like the drumming and stuff. I'm like, I'll just set you over here for now. And a few years went by, and I, got into them. So, yeah, because my friends were in a band and they covered Seasons in the Abyss, and I love their cover of it. So I went out and got. Actually, I think I helped the guitarist move, so he said, "I'll buy you an album." So I want this double one here. So I got Decade of Aggression, and then listened to that, loved it. So then I went backwards through their catalog, and Show No Mercy is it's kind of like a first cousin of Kill 'Em All. Like Kill 'Em All is awesome, and then Show No Mercy, it's kind of in that same vein, like the sound quality, but like the songs, I don't think they're as catchy as Kill 'Em All, but they're probably thrashier. I mean, they feel heavier. They have like a biggerness.
Well, and I think
that makes sense.
But it's also like production too, though. It's that time where it sounded different. And this is like, and I remember I was in the conversation on Twitter, and that I too like didn't really get into it until South of Heaven, and then I went back and listened to the old stuff. I really didn't get it, but this is something that I'm glad we're bringing this up, because I wanted to talk to you and the others that are listening live, and and again, we can certainly bring this up afterwards. But I remember reading in a magazine, so like back in the day when I didn't have a lot of money to actually buy physical magazines where they actually actually print ink on paper. I would often just stand in like Shinders, if those of you that remember Shinders, or I would stand in the stores and read all of the rags because I couldn't buy them all. But I remember reading an article. I don't remember if it was like Rip or Hit Parader or whatever. It might have been Guitar Player or one of the guitar magazines. I don't remember. But they literally were talking about how Slayer faked it until they made it. And they said they purposely in the studio sped up solos on the first album.
Really?
That they couldn't play live, but eventually they could, right? And when I first heard it, I'm like, you're kidding me? Like they sped up solos and I have no way of proving, like, did that really happen? Are you kidding me? But I'm just curious if one, anybody else in the internet world has ever heard of that. And two, what do you think? I mean, if that was something that they did back in 1983, you know?
I've heard of bands doing that recently too, where there's, I think it's Old Drake from Evil. I remember him in an article once saying how they don't play stuff or they don't record stuff that they won't play live. Like, because he was complaining that the same thing. There's some bands that speed things up and like you hear it on the album and like there's no way they could play it that fast. And it's true because they are speeding it up and can't play it. So according to Old Drake, there are bands that still do that. And I'd probably take his side and say, if you can't play it, don't record it that way.
Sure. Yeah. So just a thought. I don't know. It's kind of crazy to think about, but then again, they used to wear black eye makeup too. So I don't know.
And I still haven't confirmed if they were actually called Dragon Slayer at one point. So I'd always heard that, but then Kerry King said that it's not.
We just got to get him on the show. Can you have your people reach out to their people?
I can try, but he teases my people. Yeah, but Show No Mercy, I think my statement on it is I think it is a little underrated, but I think it's a little lost on my personal opinion, because I always go back to, Rain and Blood, South of Heaven, Seasons in the Abyss, kind of that era. So I love those so much, but I need to go back more and listen to Show No Mercy more often.
You know what? I'm going to do this weekend. I'm going to listen to Show No Mercy and Hauling the Chapel. Get some old school Slayer. Yeah. So my new brain can listen to it again,
Yep. And I would have to say, if it's not my favorite Slayer song, it's my favorite Slayer riff, Black Magic.
Oh,
just love that one.
It's a good one.
One thing I started, most people in the pandemic kind of picked up something or like worked on something. And I picked up the guitar after a bunch of years and started working on things. And so if you want to see me attempt Black Magic, I don't know if it's on YouTube. It's on my Facebook page back like April 2020 or something. Or I could put it on our YouTube page too, but just so fun to play. So many good riffs, and I just love that song. And it's my ringtone. My wife calls me, so Slayer starts going off.
Right on.
So yes, Show No Mercy, definitely some great songs in there, and I enjoy it. Need to go back to it.
Cool. So thanks for again, that was some good debate on the Twitter sphere. Actually, I shouldn't say Twitter sphere is like, that's actually a separate thing. That's like you can do live video inside Twitter. I think it's called Twitter sphere. Anyway.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Cool. Dude, I think that's gonna wrap us up for it's already been an hour, dude. What the hell?
As this rap is winding down, can't you see we wear the crown? Don't you know Anthrax is number one? But we don't care. We just want to have a festival
in London. Hey, we want to thank everyone for listening. Thank everyone that's joined us live. Thank everyone that listens and follows us on whatever podcast app that you follow us on. We do encourage you to please go leave a review where you get your podcasts. And what would really help and really be great, even if you're using, Spotify, Google Podcasts, go leave a review on Apple Podcasts. It would really mean a lot to us to kind of raise in those ranks. So we really appreciate all your support. We want to hear from you. Leave us.
We want to be rank.
we want to rank. Go ahead and leave or send us an email at thethrashreport@gmail.com. You can find links to all of our stuff at thrashreport.com. I absolutely, love the fact that you guys continue to show up every week, and we couldn't do this without you. So thank you so much, man.
Yeah, so much. It's awesome watching you guys in the chat room, just chatting between yourselves or talking about stuff we've brought up. So it's really cool to see. We appreciate you guys so much. And we love doing this, and we're just going to try to keep getting better.
Absolutely. I want everyone to have a safe and fun holiday 4th of July weekend. Don't lose any fingers, man. Just have fun, but
if you're going to lose any fingers, lose the middle two.
That's right. And as a reminder, you know what? It may seem silly, but as a reminder, man, like if you're out boating or out on the river, again, man, if you're boating, just don't drink and drive, and have fun. I don't want to hear again, every 4th of July, you hear, somebody drowns or something. Right. So let's have a safe and fun time, because I'm going to, like Ozzy says, because I'm going to come back and kick your fucking ass again. So we will see you at a show live this fall.
Yes.
So, thank you. We'll see you next time on the Thrash Report. See you guys.
Horns up. Thanks, everybody. See ya.
See ya. All right.